feeling of despair. How to restore courage and vitality in your life. Andreas was a man in his early 40s, with a good job, a family, and seemingly everything one could wish for. However, inside him, there was a dark shadow that followed him everywhere. The feeling of despair. Every day, as he woke up, it felt as though there was nothing to look forward to in life. His job, despite being successful, seemed meaningless and exhausting. His family life, although seemingly perfect, couldn't hide the distance he felt from everyone around him. Though he often spoke about these feelings to his friends, no one seemed to understand. They saw him as the strong man who always managed to get by, but he felt more and more lost and isolated. Every decision felt wrong, and every day was filled with doubt. The strangest thing was that, when he spoke to himself about it, he couldn't find a clear reason for his despair. It was just there, existing without explanation. One day, Andreas met Dimitris, an old friend. Dimitris wasn't particularly emotional, but he had a sense of balance that impressed Andreas. He had a peaceful outlook on the world, as if he was always connected to something deeper than everyday life. "Andreas, I know you're not okay," Dimitris said as they sat down at a cafe. "We all go through tough times, but you need to find a way to reconnect with yourself." Andreas looked at his friend, and for the first time, he felt like someone truly understood him. He began to talk, sharing everything: his disappointments, doubts, and fears about the future. And as he spoke, something began to shift within him. The feeling of despair didn't vanish immediately, but the decision to open his heart to someone was starting to free him. Dimitris listened carefully and then said, "Life isn't always easy, but you need to realize that you have the power to change it. You don't have to face your fears alone." This conversation made Andreas realize something very important. Not only were there others who understood him, but his despair had deeper roots in a fundamental need for connection and purpose. Many times, the feeling of despair arises when we feel that our lives lack direction or purpose, when it seems that whatever we do is meaningless. For the following weeks, Andreas made a conscious effort to rediscover those small things that once brought him joy. No, everything didn't become perfect, but he began to find ways to reconnect with himself. His job became less tedious when he started setting small goals and achieving them. His relationship with his family, though not changing overnight, began to improve as Andreas began to communicate better with his wife and children. At first, it was hard to believe that he could ever feel happy again, but soon he realized that true strength doesn't lie in a life that is always perfect, but in the ability to recognize the small victories and connect with others. The lesson from today's story with Andreas is that despair can be temporary, and the first step to overcoming it is allowing yourself to feel and talk about your doubts and fears. When you have the courage to open your heart, you will find the strength to restore vitality and joy to your life.